Welcome and thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Success in the Classroom. Joining me today is Miss Ashley Turner, teacher on special assignment, serving as the lead counselor for secondary schools. Welcome, Miss Turner.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. So we're going to dive right into it. We have so much to cover this morning. Under your scope of responsibilities, what exactly does a lead counselor for secondary schools do?
Well, I'm in the department of our student services department here at the Dillon Administrative Complex, and that encompasses everything from health services to mental wellness, evaluations, but my main role is to serve our middle and high school counselors. I try to support them, advocate for them, but I really try to keep them updated on policies, the statutes, forms. I go and visit those schools and I'm just here to support their roles in the schools.
Okay, so in talking about that support, we know one of the biggest things that happens at the secondary level from about 7th grade on, parents really and students really start talking and thinking about graduation.
Yes.
Right? So, and we know, of course, at the high school, that's all the talk, graduation. So we've recently received our 21-22 data on graduation rates. We're really proud of our 89.9% rate, which was above where we were pre-pandemic. However, we're not quite satisfied and we want to keep doing more. So if you could just kind of talk to us a little bit about graduation rates and what that looks like at school sites and what counselors do to assist students with graduation.
Well, we were really proud of our graduation rate because we, as you said, we are comparing that to that 18-19 year pre-pandemic because during the pandemic, a lot of test scores and some of the requirements were waived. So now we're back to, you have to pass these tests, you have to hit this GPA. There's a lot of pressure on students and faculty and counselors. So it's just very important for our counselors to stay in tune with not only their seniors, but all of their students. It starts in 9th grade, and for some students, those high school credits start in middle school. So they try to monitor them as closely as possible. They try to keep the parents informed and the students informed about where the mark is, what are our goals for you, and then if they do fail a class or get behind on something, how are we going to remediate those students and keep them, on track through credit recovery and things like that? It is a tough job because counselors are no longer called guidance counselors. We actually refer to them as school counselors.
Okay.
And that's something that the American School Counselors Association really pushed for in the last few years. And it's because the scope of their job is no longer like it was when you and I were in school, where your guidance counselor just did a little grad check and sent you on your way. And
right.
now they're dealing with students who are in crisis with their mental health. They're trying to advise dual enrollment students on college classes. So there's a lot that they're trying to take care of. But their number one initiative is to get every one of their students to walk across that stage, because we know that that's what's going to prepare them for that post-secondary world, whether it's work, military, college. So that is our number one initiative, and I know it's Dr. Barber's big initiative too.
Absolutely, to love, educate, and prepare all students for graduation and that successful future. So wonderful. Now, you talked about those things that counselors do, school counselors do to help their students graduate. But for our stakeholders out there, especially our parents of, incoming freshmen, what exactly is needed for a student to successfully graduate high school?
Well, we're looking at 3 areas. We're looking at your GPA, your grade point average. So you have to have a minimum of a 2.0 unweighted GPA, which is a C average.
Okay.
Then there's the number of credits. So you have to take certain classes to graduate, and those are those core areas with English and science and social studies and math. And then there are, the fine art and the PE and things like that. And the state keeps adding little things every year, it seems, because they really want them to be prepared for the world. For instance, they're adding that personal financial literacy piece, and with next year's 9th graders.
Very important course, though.
Oh, very. I think
important
it's
course.
going to be a great course for them. So you have to meet those certain core credits, and with a total of 24 credits, but there are some other avenues. There's the 18 credit Excel plan.
Okay.
It can get really, kind of crazy when you look at all the different ways you can waive certain classes and things like that.
Okay.
But then the third area is assessment, and that's a lot of times the most difficult area for students to meet
Okay.
the criteria in. You have to pass your reading and math test basically, and here that means your FSA reading. It's going to eventually become that FAST assessment for the younger grades that are moving up. And then in math, we want to see proficiency in Algebra 1. So you have to pass that Algebra 1 end of course exam, but then there are other concordant, ways that you can pass those tests.
Okay. And so when you talk about those concordant areas, ACT,
Yes.
SAT, so.
PSAT, the geometry EOC can suffice. So
Okay.
that's where that communication piece comes to play with counselors, putting that on the school websites. I know our district website, we have an
Yes.
assessment website that you have actually created and updated, and it's awesome because it lists all those tests, and we even have a tab that says concordant scores, and
Yes.
that will kind of lay it out for the parents and of those juniors and seniors. What are my opportunities, and when is the district offering those tests? And most of those we offer during the school day at the schools each year.
And we'll post, whenever we air this video, we'll actually put the link to the district's
great.
assessment page so that you can, parents can receive that information and just check it out
Yeah.
and take a look. Two things really quick that I absolutely want to cover. In talking about graduation, we know that for students that are wanting to take a pathway to college post high school, it can be costly.
Oh, yes.
But we have actually in our district partnered with Florida Prepaid College Plans to offer a superintendent scholarship. And I think last year was our first year doing it.
yeah.
And we offered a Pace High School senior a $7,000 scholarship. But we have some really exciting news about
Yeah.
this year. We're offering 2 scholarships.
Yes.
One high school senior will receive an $8,000 scholarship. And what about the second new scholarship?
And they're going to give one to our little babies. They're going to offer a $1,000 scholarship to a current kindergarten student, and that just gets that 529 savings plan started for that family to start saving for college. And so, yeah, we're very excited that they've added that kindergarten
Wonderful.
scholarship. We have all of that information on the district homepage.
Yes.
Right there, the deadline to submit applications for those scholarships is April 6th. So parents can mail that in, or they can email it to me, and all that information's on, all the stuff on the website.
Wonderful. Now, Ms. Turner, if parents want additional information about your area or just getting in contact with the secondary counselor, what can they do? Where can they go?
Well, they should start with our district website, and they should go to the Student Services Department because it will list my name there. There's also Darla Dunn, who is the lead counselor for elementary schools.
Okay.
And so all of our contact information is on that website. We encourage parents we have parents call sometimes because they're just not sure who to call.
Okay.
Or maybe they just have an issue that they'd like to to staff with someone other than their school counselor. And so that's how we support those counselors. We come in and we can just kind of be give them another viewpoint, maybe give them some extra information. So I would advise them to go to the website.
Wonderful. And that link is, that web address is www.santarosaschools.org. Again, that's santarosaschools.org. Ms. Turner, thank you so much.
You're
It's been
welcome.
wonderful to talk with you today and about graduation. We know that's our big mission here in Santa Rosa County. And hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Success in the Classroom.